Hello, the intent in this video today is to show you how to submit study guides, practices, and journals in Apex. We use Google Docs to do that. We will paste and copy the assignments into Google Docs. Some of them paste and copy over well. Some of them you have to kind of use your imagination and create text boxes or just kind of create your own notes. So again, to get a reset on a quiz, if you are able to pass it with a 60% or higher after 2 attempts, um, teachers require that you submit a study guide, which I'll show you, or another option is you can create your own notes from the study sections. So the first thing you do is you'll log in. And in this instance, we are going to use the U.S. History account. So if you go to your U.S. History A course, and again, this isn't all exactly going to be the same, but I'll kind of talk us through that in a minute here. And you'll notice here that you were not able to, the student was not able to pass the 1.1.5 quiz. So if you go into that, it's going to say to contact your teacher. And what that specifically means is that in order to get a reset, you'll need to demonstrate that you went back through the material. So the material for the 1.1.5 quiz, again, to find that is just going to be the study section or the material just before the quiz. So if you look up here with the 3 lines, if you click the outline here, you will see that this study section and probably this journal, which we're going to go over how to submit that journal in a minute, but the study section right here is going to be kind of the meat and potatoes that talks about, in this instance, radical reconstruction. So if you go back to the 1.1.4 study, you will see in the bottom here that you've got 1 of 16 pages. And again, there's going to be a number of widgets in here and videos that kind of go through radical reconstruction. You've got a lot of highlighted words that you can, or keywords you can kind of click through. But what's important here is the study guide. Now again, the study guides are great tools because a lot of the information in the study guides obviously is going to correlate to the quiz and the test. You also feel free to create your own notes. Radical reconstruction could be a heading, and you could take some notes from there using this text here, and then also some of these widgets here where it talks about Charles Sumner. If you click the second page, Southerners resist Reconstruction. And again, you want to click through here if you're going to create your own notes. You also use these pages to fill out the study guide. But if you go back to page 1, the study guide is always here in orange. The one exception is occasionally there's courses, and there's not many of them. PE, I think, is a course, physical education, that doesn't have study guides. In that instance, if you need a quiz reset, you would just create your own notes from the corresponding study section. So if you click that study guide, it should pop up here, and you will see a number of key terms. There's going to be amendment questions. Now again, you can't type into this actual study guide. You actually have to go and paste and copy it. Now here's the catch. You can't just push Control A, Control C to copy and Control V to paste. It doesn't typically work very well that way. You actually have to start right here with the 114. If you watch, you'll see I don't highlight that icon with the, looks like a head with ideas coming out of it, but you slowly come down here and you're going to kind of you're going to basically highlight this. Everything, of course, except for this little icon here is going to be what you want to do because for some reason it messes it up. But you can push Control C or you can right click and push copy. The next thing you'll do is you'll go up to your Google Drive, and hopefully you have a Google Drive, and you will actually click New, and you'll click Google Doc. And a new Google Doc is going to open up. First thing you're going to want to type in here is going to be the 1.1 point, I believe it was 4 study guide. Study guide u.s.history A. And then what you'll do is you will paste this. So you can go Control V as a shortcut, or you can right click, click paste. Sometimes it takes a little while to paste, so kind of give it some, or just means to copy, so give it some time. And you'll scroll back up, and you will see here that it pasted over pretty well. So key terms, you'll type out what the key terms are in for these things. So you can see, you can kind of type in here. Any questions that you have coming up, you might need to answer. Explain how radical Republicans were able to further their plan for Reconstruction. You can come down here. There's going to be boxes that you can kind of type into, as you can see. And again, you can use different color fonts, if you will. It's really up to you. And then what will happen is once you fill it out, the key and the most important part here is the share. You're going to want to click share. And I am the U.S. history teacher, so you would send that to me. Okay, you just go, you would just type my email in. In this instance, I'm the owner of this document, so I'm just going to send it to my personal email. Okay, and you want to make sure, the important part here is that you give your teacher editing rights so they can make notes in the doc, highlight things that you might have missed, maybe things that you might need a little further information on. If you want to type messages into the doc, say, here, this is my study guide for the 1.1.5 reset, or you can just type in, please reset, the 1.1.5 quiz. Stuff like that, and you can send it. Okay, so you'll send. That will go into share anyways. So then that'll go to the email, and the teacher will get it, and hopefully they will respond back and reset your quiz. So that's kind of how that's done. Now the important part, again, just to hit home here, is that you're going to want to label the heading here. You're going to want to paste and copy things over into this doc. Now again, I will warn you, there are classes that things don't paste and copy very well over. Again, that's where you're going to have to kind of create your own text boxes, kind of make your own study guide, and that's okay if you get the material. So for instance, say this number 3 didn't copy over well, you would just have to essentially type in 13th Amendment and then, type out the main purpose. Again, as long as you get the gist of it. So that's how that works. Now, if you go back to your studies or to your course, you will see, show you one moment. So if we go back into our U.S. History A course, you will see that there's a journal right before the study guide. I'm just going to take a moment here. I'm going to go into Unit 1, go over. Now right here, this 1.1.3 journal, it's essentially done the same way you do study guides. You're going to paste and copy that journal, and you can see it's 1 of 3 pages. Make sure you take note of that. So you can click over here. They're going to kind of give you context into what the assignment might be. And again, there's 1 of 3 pages, but generally speaking, the first page has that journal with the orange icon. You click that, and the same deal, you're going to paste and copy that into a Google Doc. So again, don't highlight the icon here. You want to start at 1.1.3. Kind of slowly scroll down here. You can see that bottom part is the rubric. Feel free to include it or not. I'm not going to. And then I'm going to right-click, copy. I'm going to go to my Google Drive here, and I'm going to click New. And again, I'm going to make sure always put a heading in here. And I'm going to make another recommendation here in a moment. Journal, journal. Don't share this document until you're done. So a lot of people I notice will come in and share right away, and that sends an invitation to the teacher. I've opened a lot of documents and it's been blank answers. Wait till you fill out the study guides, journals, and practices to send them. So again, I'm going to right-click, paste all that information. And again, in this instance, for this assignment, they want you to just give you, and you can see that kind of, again, doesn't paste and copy great over, but President Lincoln's plan for Reconstruction. And again, you can type in there. Feel free to add bullet points, okay? You can add bullet points in each one of these. And again, if this doesn't completely paste over right, again, feel free to make your own diagrams, charts. Again, the last part here, they want you to write a paragraph about what you might do for Reconstruction. Again, down here, my plan for Reconstruction, and whatever. And you can change the text color if you want. It's really up to you. But again, once you finish the assignment, again, same thing. You're going to go into the share, and you're going to add your teacher to this document. In this instance, I would add myself, but this is my email, so I'm going to add it to my personal email. And again, important part, make your teacher the editor. And you can just say, this is my 1.1.3 journal. And again, you can send that, okay? Send anyways, and that's going to send an invitation to the teacher to grade that, okay? You also can send these, you can also go up to the Share tab here, and you can actually copy the link to the Google Doc, and you can go into your Apex account and you can actually send a message right here. Same with study guides. You can send a message, so you can select the teacher, Mr. Hicks. You can say this is the 1.1.3 journal. And in the body, you're going to actually just paste your Google Doc link. Okay, then you can submit homework. You can select the course. In this instance, it's going to be U.S. History A. I think I may have passed it somewhere down here. Looks like I got so many in here. It's not even in here, but I'll go to U.S. History. And again, the assignment, you could just say it's, and again, this isn't the 1.1.4 practice, but again, it's the journal. And you're not ever really going to attach anything because we don't do things in Word documents. We do them with a Google Doc. And then again, you can send that to the teacher and it will actually stamp into the gradebook. So that's another way to do it. Again, the general rule of thumb is, again, use those study guides and those journals, paste and copy them in. In any way you've got to kind of change or kind of freelance your own way to make those things. If they don't paste and copy over it, it's fine. Teachers are going to be very understanding. If you have any questions, you can email the teacher and ask them, hey, this isn't pasting and copying over correctly. How do you want me to do this? Again, you've got our contact information.